The girl was getting anxious about being late for school. Jumping around in a frenzy, she kept urging her good friend Justice to run faster. However, a person suddenly appeared in front of Justice. Just as Justice was about to collide with the girl, she instinctively threw a punch that sent him flying. A startled Izzy rushed to apologize as she helped Justice up. When their hands touched, sparks flew, causing intense pain for both. Izzy looked at him in disbelief before turning away. Justice was about to say something when his childhood friend Tuko shouted that time was running out. Upon reaching school, Justice looked at the tattoo on his hand, reminding him of 3 days ago when he saved a man who, in gratitude, gave him a stone. The moment Justice accepted it, a mysterious tattoo appeared on his palm and merged into his skin. The man left without explanation. Meanwhile, rumors circulated among classmates about a secret weapon developed by Country M. It was a combat device resembling a tattoo that had been recently stolen. At this moment, Tuko asked Justice to accompany her to buy some things. Upon arriving at the supermarket, Justice stepped outside to make a phone call. Just then, the silver-haired girl named Izzy suddenly appeared. Justice, looking surprised, stared at the girl who had punched him in the morning. However, as he was taken aback, Izzy snatched his phone and promptly ran off. Justice hurriedly chased after her, and they ended up at an abandoned factory. Izzy directly questioned him about the origin of the tattoo on his hand, but Justice claimed he knew nothing about it. Before he could finish speaking, Izzy suddenly rushed towards him and launched an attack. Fortunately, due to his martial arts training, Justice managed to dodge in time. Izzy informed Justice that the tattoo on his hand was the highest secret of Country M, and demanded its return. She then launched another attack. Soon, Izzy managed to knock Justice to the ground. At that moment, Izzy seemed to realize she had been too aggressive and released him. She then removed her gloves, revealing the tattoo on her palm, and explained to him, tattoos are ancient weapons that drastically enhance the physical abilities of their users, known as the sealed, allowing them to bring forth supernatural phenomena when activated through the charging of the user's own unique trigger, and Izzy's trigger happened to be chalk. Subsequently, she demonstrated the usage of the tattoo to Justice. After the chalk disappeared from her hand, the tattoo was successfully activated. Following this, Izzy compressed the air into an air bomb, leaving Justice astonished by the scene before him. She had not anticipated the tattoo to possess such formidable power. The next day, upon arriving at school, Justice began attempting to activate the tattoo using chalk as well, but there was no response whatsoever. After school, on his way home, Justice encountered Izzy once again. He promptly inquired how to activate the tattoo. Izzy informed him that everyone's trigger is different, and that it would require Justice to explore this on his own. At that moment, a burly man knocked down someone, and then charged towards them. The person who was knocked down turned out to be Izzy's subordinate, Tom. Upon witnessing this, Justice assumed a stance, preparing to confront the situation. However, in the next moment, he was kicked and sent flying by the man. Subsequently, the man activated the power of his tattoo. Izzy wanted to assist, but Justice insisted on handling the situation with his own strength. Saying this, he charged forward. Yet, in the next moment, he was pinned to the ground by the man. As the man prepared to deliver a final blow, Justice's tattoo unexpectedly activated. In an instant, a compressed air cannon materialized in his hand, unleashing a powerful blast that sent the man flying. With severe injuries, Justice fell unconscious. Izzy was also taken aback by the turn of events. The man had been defeated by a single strike from Justice. What surprised her most was that Justice had managed to activate his tattoo without a trigger. When Justice woke up again, he found himself in a sealed room. Sitting before him were Izzy and Tom. They wanted to invite him to join their organization. Izzy explained that both she and Tom were soldiers of Country M, tasked with recovering stolen tattoos. If Justice refused to join their organization, they would forcibly retrieve the tattoo from his hand. However, once a tattoo fused with a person's body, it would take root within them. If Justice declined their offer, they threatened to sever one of his arms. Upon hearing this, Justice became extremely angry. He grabbed Izzy's collar in a fit of rage. However, in the next moment, Izzy threw him to the ground. Stepping on his body, she informed him that since he had gained powerful abilities, he must also bear the consequences. Izzy released him and gave him a few days to contemplate their offer before leaving. The next day, surprisingly, Izzy showed up in Justice's classroom. Justice was left dumbfounded in his spot. The male classmates in the class were all captivated by her presence. Then, unexpectedly, Izzy greeted Justice, which instantly drew angry glares from the male students. After class, Justice called Izzy up to the rooftop to inquire about her intentions. However, Izzy countered by asking him how his deliberations were going. Justice was eager to understand the true cost that Izzy had mentioned. At that moment, Tom appeared. He mentioned that ever since Izzy acquired the power of the tattoo, her body had ceased to grow. Just as Tom was about to reveal Izzy's actual age, she kicked him. Izzy clarified that such side effects varied from person to person, and even they couldn't comprehend all aspects of the tattoo since it was an ancient artifact that couldn't be replicated. The tattoo originated from the Selanistan Kingdom, an emerging nation whose knowledge and utilization of tattoos far surpassed that of Country M. If they were to weaponize the tattoo, the consequences would be dire. Upon hearing all this, Justice decided to join them in preventing a war. Izzy informed Justice that based on her observation of his battle the previous day, she believed that Justice's trigger was likely blood, and that his tattoo possessed the power of the Law Devourer, a force capable of consuming everything. Izzy cautioned Justice to use this power with extreme care. Selanistan Kingdom has been plunged into internal warfare. The King's Royal Guard has been completely annihilated by the Princess's Brahmin Guard, and the king himself has been devoured by the princess's pet. The instigator of all this chaos is none other than Princess Arya, who was playing an electric game at the time. Arya's ambitions extend beyond just the Selanistan Kingdom. Her goal is world domination. Meanwhile, Tom learns of Arya's regicide. If she assumes leadership of the Selanistan Kingdom, war is imminent. At that moment, the doorbell suddenly rings. As Tom opens the door, he is impaled by an umbrella wielded by Tuco, Justice's childhood friend. Justice rushes up from the basement. Tuco, looking dazed, claims she had come to find Justice and take him back to the princess. Justice can't believe the person before him is Tuco. In reality, it is Shield Mia from the kingdom who has been possessing Tuco's body for the past 2 days. Tom informs Justice of the blood pack inside the cardboard box, instructing him to use it to activate his tattoo for combat against Mia. Mia attacked him with the umbrella but was caught by Justice. Subsequently, Justice successfully activated the tattoo using the blood on the umbrella. However, he couldn't control the power of the tattoo. While evading Mia's attacks, Justice pushed too hard and was instantly flung backwards. Just as Mia prepares to deliver the final blow, Tuco's consciousness within Mia stops her. Taking advantage of Mia's distraction, Tom seizes her head and separates Mia from Tuco's body. Mia retaliates immediately, prompting Justice to activate his tattoo once more, unleashing the power of the Law Devourer. Tom warns Justice of the potential backlash from the Law Devourer's energy, but a frenzied Justice is beyond reason. Tuco tries to pull Justice back to his senses, inadvertently causing the energy ball in Justice's hand to change direction, allowing Mia to evade a fatal strike. In an instant, half the house is consumed, and Mia seizes the opportunity to escape. The next day, Izzy decided to train Justice properly, but Justice was no match for Izzy, and ended up getting beaten up. After this incident, a tattoo was left on Tuco's forehead. Tom covered it with a bandage to prevent her from being affected by the tattoo's power. Later, Tom gave Justice a device that could detect tattoos. If someone nearby activated a tattoo, it would sound an alarm and send the target's location to them. At the same time, after the failed mission, Mia found Raka, and they decided to target Lisa, the captain of the White Rose Special Forces from Country M. Meanwhile, Lisa was leisurely enjoying coffee while her team members chatted casually. Unaware of the impending danger, a helicopter arrived above the safe house of the White Rose Special Forces. Mia leaped down from the helicopter with a large knife in hand. In mid-air, Mia's body started to flicker, and the next moment, she appeared directly in the room. As soon as Mia landed, she immediately took out the White Rose members in the room. Seeing her teammates' bodies on the ground, Lisa, filled with anger, launched an attack. However, Mia remained undaunted by Lisa's furious fire attacks. Simultaneously, Izzy and Tom received a distress signal from Lisa, and immediately rushed to provide support, with Justice following closely behind. However, on the way to the rescue, Izzy fell into a trap set by Raka. Raka had installed a device here that blocked tattoo activation, rendering the person powerless. Raka left instead of killing Izzy. Justice arrived at the rooftop and found Lisa captured by Mia. He rushed over to rescue Lisa, but in the next moment, Mia sent him flying. Fortunately, Tom arrived in time to save him. Meanwhile, Mia and Raka took Lisa hostage and boarded a helicopter. Izzy finally caught up, while Tom instructed Justice to return to school first. Izzy picked up Lisa's discarded coat and found her phone inside. It seemed that Izzy found some information on her phone and requested backup from the superiors. Tom took the phone and saw a photo that made him nosebleed. Izzy angrily told him not to look randomly, and asked him to listen to the audio on the phone. The recorded conversation revealed that Mia and Raka planned to escort Lisa to the kingdom today. Justice and Tuco were called by Izzy to her house. As soon as Justice entered, he was handcuffed. Izzy then prepared to go rescue Lisa. Tom explained that this was all to protect him, because the kingdom had been after his tattoo. Despite this, Justice insisted on going to help them. He managed to break free from the handcuffs and knock down Tom. However, the exit had been blocked. Justice decided to unleash the power of his tattoo to blast open an exit, but lost control, causing the entire house to be consumed. Meanwhile, Izzy found Raka. Raka, upon seeing Izzy, became excited and immediately used her whip to take down two soldiers. Facing the powerful gunfire, Raka used his tattoo to create a protective shield, reducing the impact of the bullets. Izzy attacked him from above, but only did minor damage to Raka. On the other side, Mia eliminated all the pursuers, but as she prepared to leave, Justice arrived and blocked her path. The two immediately engaged in combat. However, Justice was no match for Mia. After several rounds, Justice was knocked down and couldn't get up. Tuco, witnessing this, immediately rushed in, but being new to the power of the tattoo, she not only failed to harm Mia, but was also sent flying by her. At that moment, a voice resonated in Justice's mind, urging him to use the power of Law Devourer. Justice stood up, inserted his hand into his abdomen, where a large amount of blood merged with his tattoo. The ground beneath Mia collapsed as Justice utilized the power of Law Devourer. He charged forward, striking down Mia and hugged Tuco. However, at that moment, Kingdom's Princess Arya suddenly appeared behind him. Due to overuse of his power, Justice was struggling to stand. He staggered and fell into Arya's arms. Unexpectedly, Arya lifted Justice's chin and kissed him in front of everyone. As Justice was taken aback, Arya praised his ability to defeat Mia, and suggested that handing over his tattoo to her would be a wise choice. After speaking, Arya swiftly departed from the scene. On the other side, Izzy also defeated Raka, but Arya suddenly appeared, ready to take Raka away. Lisa wanted to intervene, but Arya demonstrated her powerful tattoo abilities and made her give up. As Arya was leaving, she advised Justice to learn more about the power of tattoos because the origin body needed him. But Justice didn't understand her words at all. Several days later, a mysterious man found Justice. He was Brad, arranged by Arya to teach Justice. However, Justice didn't believe him and immediately launched an attack, only to be swiftly knocked unconscious by Brad with a single blow. Brad then took Justice to a vehicle and called Izzy. When Izzy heard Brad's voice, she was very surprised. Brad told her that Justice is with him, and then he hung up the phone. Soon, Brad brought Justice to a location, revealing that he was once part of Kingdom. The building they were in was the headquarters for Kingdom's research on an anti-tattoo system. This system neutralized tattoos based on utilizing the human brain, turning several dozen individuals into experimental subjects. Upon hearing this, Justice was filled with anger. Brad's objective today was to destroy this facility. They quickly entered the research facilities center, but their actions had already been detected by Dr. Wiseman. Wiseman released his experiments, each possessing tattoos. He explained that these individuals, though clones, could forcibly fuse with the origin body. When Justice inquired about the origin body, Wiseman's assistant clarified that it was the core of tattoo activation, essentially the human spirit or soul. After a brief exchange, Wiseman ordered an attack on them. Overwhelmed by the number of enemies, Justice could only resist. At this moment, Brad directly activated his tattoo, swiftly dispatching these clones. Under Brad's guidance, Justice successfully destroyed the research facility. The next day, Brad began training Justice, who was still not very proficient in controlling the power of tattoos. Brad threw a hair strand to Justice, and instructed him to practice using the power of Law Devourer to bore the hole in it. After a day of training, Izzy found her way there and asked Brad why he joined Kingdom. However, Brad did not answer her directly. Instead, he assured her that he wouldn't harm Justice and then left after speaking. Unable to contain herself, Izzy approached Brad and hugged him. Brad turned around and patted her head, saying, "The situation is very dire right now. Arya plans to use the existing tattoo ancient relics to reshape the world. And now, Arya has successfully controlled 2 ancient ruins. She is searching for the third one. Brad told her to protect the last ancient ruins at all costs. After saying this, Brad left. To stop Arya's plan, Country M directly dispatched troops to the ancient ruins. Justice and Tuco also joined in. Their commander this time is Colonel Sanders. They arrived at the skies above the ancient ruins. Then they immediately began to fire wildly at the ancient ruins with machine guns. Other members of the helicopter also jumped down, ready for battle. At this moment, a figure appeared in the midst of the flames. She was Kar, the vice captain of Arya's Brahmin unit. The man saw the Kar was a stunning beauty, so he rushed straight at her, but in the next second, he was sliced in half by Kar. Kar then drew her sword again and beheaded him. Suddenly, many maids appeared behind her. They had come to stop Country M from destroying the ancient ruins. Inside the ancient ruins, Arya also received the news. Arya immediately ordered Mia to assist Kar, and lent her own power. At this moment, Kar was wreaking havoc outside like a war god. Meanwhile, Izzy was surrounded by those maids. Justice seized the opportunity and dashed towards the ancient ruins, only to be caught off guard by Kar suddenly appearing by his side. But Kar didn't kill him. Instead, she simply walked away. Just then, Mia arrived at the scene and unleashed the power bestowed upon her by Arya, transforming directly into a beast. With a leap, she launched an attack towards the helicopter in the sky. Sanders swiftly carried Tuco and leaped off, but Kar was hot on their trail. Izzy also rushed to support Sanders, but even together, they were no match for Kar. Sanders had his hand and foot chopped off by Kar, lying on the ground barely alive. Izzy, heavily wounded, leaned against a tree. Just as Kar was about to kill Izzy, Brad appeared riding a motorcycle. Kar wasted no time and swung his blade, cleaving the motorcycle in half. On the sidelines, Justice was overjoyed at Brad's arrival, but to his surprise, Arya materialized beside him. Justice promptly rose to attack, only to have Arya grip his throat and press him against the wall. Following this, a stick was driven into his arm, pinning him to the wall. Arya told him that all of this was to lure Brad out, because he holds the second key to unlocking the tattoo in the ancient ruins. Then Arya filled his body with sticks. She wanted Justice to be a spectator here. Filled with despair and pain, Izzy arrived at Justice's location immediately and opened fire at Arya. But just as the bullet was about to hit Arya, it was instantly devoured. Then Arya directly manipulated the earth to bind her. At that moment, a severely wounded Brad collapsed in front of them. Kar also appeared. Brad struggled to get up. He asked his origin body for 5 minutes of power. He said it would be the last time. The origin body responded and granted him the power. However, even with the strength of the origin body, he was still no match for Kar. Izzy, seeing this, was heartbroken. She urged Justice to save him, but Justice was pinned to the wall and unable to move. So he too borrowed power from his origin body. With the strength he gained, Justice managed to break free from his restraints. Just then, Kar prepared to launch her most powerful attack. Finally, with Justice's help, Brad successfully struck Kar, shattering her tattoo. But at that moment, Brad was consumed by the origin body. He told Justice to quickly let the origin body consume him, but Justice couldn't understand what he meant. Just then, Justice's origin body, uncontrolled, lunged at Brad. It immediately consumed Brad in one bite. Confused and helpless, Justice collapsed to the ground. Arya, seeing her plan fail, was furious. At that moment, Tuco ran towards Justice, but in the next second, the beastified Mia devoured her in one gulp. Witnessing all of this, Justice fell into complete despair. Arya said that now, he was filled with anger, and would fully walk down the path of revenge. After saying this, she left with Mia. At that moment, a man named Dwight suddenly appeared, and asked Justice to join him. Dwight was the one who had given Justice the tattoo before. Just then, Izzy appeared and pressed a gun to Dwight's back. Dwight explained that he was sent by Brad to help them. Dwight told Justice that there were fragments of Brad's soul inside him. With the help of the machine, they could view Brad's memories. In Brad's memories, he discovered a secret laboratory. Inside, there was a woman. The woman's name was Evelyn. She was Princess Arya's sister. Evelyn gave them a tour of the lab. The lab was filled with Arya's clones. Evelyn explained that the king of the Selenistan kingdom had created these clones. The purpose was to fully control the power of the tattoo. These were all failures. Only Arya was the perfect one, and she was also the most powerful. It was then that Brad realized Arya was actually created, not born. Evelyn told them this truth because she hoped they could stop Arya. In the following days, they continued with simulated combat training. However, none of them were a match for Justice. After consuming Brad, Justice had experienced a significant boost in both strength and speed. A few days later, Justice received a CD sent by Arya. Once they returned to headquarters, they immediately checked the contents of the CD. In the video, Arya said she was planning to conduct research at the Grand Canyon ancient ruins. The camera then shifted to Lisa, who was bound and restrained. Seeing this, the group immediately set out to rescue Lisa. Soon, they arrived at the Grand Canyon. The team split up to search. Justice found the location of the ancient ruins. He used Law Devourer to enter the underground space, but as soon as he descended underground, Kar suddenly attacked. Although Kar's tattoo had been destroyed by Brad, and she could no longer use her superpowers, she still fought fiercely, relying on her exceptional swordsmanship. Justice was forced to retreat step by step. Just as Kar prepared to deliver the final blow, Justice instantly threw a punch at her chest. At the same time, the power of the tattoo exploded. A bright flash of light suddenly appeared. Arya completed her final fusion and appeared before Justice. Justice immediately attacked her using the power of Law Devourer, but Arya easily blocked it. At this point, Arya began to merge with the mountain behind her. Then, she transformed into a massive stone golem. Meanwhile, the team outside noticed the signal was cut off. They lost contact with Justice underground. Without hesitation, they rushed to support him. Arya, using the stone golem's body, relentlessly attacked Justice. Justice was knocked down and impaled by the stone pillar. Just then, Izzy and the others arrived and saved Justice, but his healing ability was rapidly deteriorating and had reached its limit. Still, Justice didn't want to give up. He wanted to avenge Tuco. Tamana told them to take Justice and run. While he stayed behind to hold off Arya, Izzy decided to stay as well. Tom immediately carried Justice and ran. Arya, however, didn't take them seriously. Arya told them that in a few minutes, the tattoo in the ancient ruins would fully merge with her soul. At that point, she would consume everyone. After saying this, Arya activated the power of the tattoo. She made the mountain explode with a tremendous force. In an instant, the ground shook and flames erupted. At that moment, Justice suddenly jumped out of the plane and caught Izzy, who was falling rapidly. At this moment, Arya had fused with the origin body. She immediately consumed Justice in midair. However, in the next moment, Justice burst out. His body began to slowly merge with the origin body. Justice leapt onto Arya's body, and with both hands, he forced open the origin body's mouth, revealing Arya inside. Justice then burst out of the origin body, preparing to deliver a fatal blow to Arya. This punch from Justice carried the hopes of everyone, but Arya managed to escape at the last second. Although Justice failed to kill her, everything was already over.